This is going to be a tutorial on a platform game development using Stencyl. Now Stencyl is really easy, doesn't require programming knowledge or anything like that, so yeah, let's get into it. First thing, you're going to need a game folder, so right click, new folder, and I'm just going to call it root, it can be whatever you want, everything's happy. Okay, so we have this. Okay. Now let's just jump right into Stencyl. Everything you need to know will be said as it comes up. Yeah. Now, if you don't have Stencyl, download it. It's going to be a thing that we're going to be using, so yay. Now this is Stencyl. I'm currently using Stencyl 3.0 beta. If you don't have access to the beta or just are in the free version, it doesn't really matter. All the commands and everything that we're going to be doing will be the same, just this has Android HTML5 and a bunch of other things that I like, so I'm going to be using it. Okay, so once we're in Stencyl, you have a Stencyl account, everything's Gucci like that. Let's create a new game, and let's use the jump and run thing, because it'll have the basic scripts for platform movement that we're going to need. Alright, next, let's give it a resolution. This can be changed later. I'm just going to leave it at this. Platform tutorial. Alright, create it. So then you'll start off with basic things like level. Just delete those. The actor types, you won't need these at all, so just remove them. All that we're looking for here is the actor behaviors. And as you can see, the names are pretty obvious. Jumping, you applied it, allows your character to jump. So that's all good. There's a jump sound and a tile set. I'm just going to leave those for posterity. We won't really need them, but it's whatever. Alright, so now that we're in Stencyl, this is the environment that we're going to be working in. Now, the scenes, actually I should go through and explain these. Actor types, they're like, how can I best describe this? They're like clones that you can use, like base sets that can be altered, base sets of people or items or whatever in the game that can be altered at runtime and used, like such as characters, enemies, pickups, really anything that is moved on runtime. Backgrounds, they'll just self-explanatory backgrounds. Fonts, they'll be fonts that you can use in the game for variables, screen overlays, whatever you need. Now scenes. Scenes are the levels, and that's really the best way I can describe them. They're levels, they're what contain each level, they're what contain the game. Now when you click create a scene, you get this stuff. Basics, name of the scene, whatever you like, or let's say level 1, enter screen, really anything. Tile height and tile width is, each scene is made of tiles, and in those tiles there can be so many of them, and those tiles are made of tile sets, which are just easily reproducible things that are collisions. And when I say they're collisions, that means like they're platforms, you'll see. So yeah, this is your width and height. You can have it in tiles or pixels. I just prefer tiles since it's an easier number, but sometimes pixels are easier. Let's get out of that. Sounds, they're sounds. There's no real explanation. Now tile sets, they're removable and just simple, easy platforms that can be made. They'll be like this, they'll just be in a single image file, and they'll be 32 by 32 or whatever resolution you want, but 32 by 32 pixels is recommended. Alright, now we have actor behaviors. Now, if you programmed before, they're like classes. How they work is you program in Stencyl's little programming thing, your code blocks, what you want them to do. Now I'm going to open one up just so you get an idea. Say camera follow player. Now how it works is you have events, and I'm going to explain these as I go down. Just, you know, when creating, you'll run whatever code's in here just once. When drawing, whenever the actor, or when there's new things being drawn like text or graphics or really whatever. When updating means it will run always. This will be used a lot since you want things to run a lot. Now to input keyboard, whenever a certain key is pressed. This is for mobile, which means whenever something's swiped, or 2 touches, or multiple fingers are on the screen. And these are just checking when click will run something in there. All these are when a certain things happen, we'll run some code that you want in there. Now I could go through all of these, but I'm pretty sure most of them are self-explanatory, and this is just something. Specifically, I just like to go over actors, since that can be the kind of thing when an actor's created or died. I'm going to delete everything afterwards, but when an actor is created, we'll say when self or a certain actor is created, then there's all this code in here that we can use to make it do whatever we want. So hopefully you get a basic idea of what's going to go on. But yeah, all this does is move the camera to a certain player, and you can apply these to an actor, and it'll have those effects on the actor or the scene. So yeah, I'm going to delete this, but just to run through this real quick, sorry, my mic. But there's a thing that says that move camera to the center of whatever is applied to plus the offset, and for the Y, move it to the center of whatever it's applied to plus the offset that you can choose, and if it's 0, it'll just be to the center of it. And that's it. Very simple stuff. But now on to the basics. We're going on to the basics of more basics. I'm going to run through this. There's preferences, language, standalone, editor, network. Don't even worry about this. There's low chance you're going to be needing it unless you actually know what it is. Sorry. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the settings. And this is where all the extra stuff is. Like, for instance, the main, you can have the name of the game logo, and the icon it will have when you export it into an actual thing. There's a physics and simple physics. Box 2D is a physics engine that's more advanced, and that's actually very realistic. Simple physics is just the basic thing. Anti-aliasing, it's anti-aliasing. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up on Wikipedia, but that's just for the tutorial. But you have on, off, don't worry about it. For the web, you have the scale of the resolutions. Stencyl has a saying where you can have multiple resolutions for whatever scale it is. Starting full screen, just going to run through these in case you need it. There's a bunch of external support for game APIs and congregates and a bunch of other things. There's loading screens that you can do if you have Pro, which I do. You may not, but yes, that's alright. So mobile, you're not going to be going into mobile development, so that's not needed. Preloader, you can customize it if you have Pro, or you can use one of the preloaded ones or a custom preloader you made in this. It's all up to you. Extensions, they're just external things you can program to or essentially edit the Stencyl program. Yeah, but we won't be using any of those, so it's not a big deal for this tutorial. Atlases are just like groups of images that can be loaded and unloaded for a certain thing to reduce memory usage on things like phones and all that stuff that have limitations, but for desktop that won't be a big deal. Groups, they're going to be very important, and we'll get into that more. But let's say we had an actor type of a player. It would be on the player's things, and they will collide with, let's say, only tiles, actors, and pickups, but they won't collide with other players, they won't collide with grappling hooks, hands, or anything like that. It's just that for different types to depend what they collide with. You can also edit this in other things, or the actor behaviors and scene behaviors to destroy, create a certain, or all types of that, but that may be used later, but just there. Controls, you can edit or remove controls to how you would like the game to be. Let's say you like WSAD and you want to use WSAD instead of this, but you still want support for it. You can just press the plus button and select it, then press A, and then do it like that, and everything's good, so where you can change the controls around as needed. Attributes are essentially global variables if you programmed before. They're variables that will apply across all things, to where it stores a number, boolean, true or false, array, anything you really need across all things permanently, to where, let's say you had a score but you were changing scenes, it would keep that score across all scenes and throughout the whole game. Alrighty, I think that's going to be it for the basics. This is it for the basics. Like, subscribe, favorite, whatever. And then next episode we'll actually get into game development and show you how these things work. This is just a quick basic rundown if you don't know how to use Stencyl, so yay! Bye, like, favorite, subscribe, things. Bye.